none other than Jimmy the Brick Flick, who will be taking on Malcolm Gordon at UFC 297 on January 20th in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. What's up, bro? Long time no talk. How's it going?
Hey man, it's going good. Camp's been great. Got 4 hard weeks of training, about 4.5 weeks out from fight night. About to go invade Canada and take over.
Is this like the longest time you had in fight camp? In between fights in the UFC, because it seems like you're one of those guys that takes fights on short notice, that wants to kind of get in there, get dirty, get your hands, and you get your hand raised quicker than rather than an 8+ week camp. Is this one of like kind of one of the longer camps that you've had?
Yeah, this is by far. I think I had like 17 weeks is when I got word. But like you said, I stay ready, and I think that's why I actually got this opportunity. A few people know about it, but Cody Durden pulled out of the fight against Bruno Silva back on September 23rd after he beat Jake Hadley. He said he was going to take both. He pulled out against him because he had that injury, and I stepped up to take on Bruno Silva on 4 weeks' notice, and then Bruno got hurt. So shortly after that, I got an offer to take this fight in Toronto, Canada. So I'd say I found out in like October. So I've known for
Wow.
a long time. But I've been doing this for a long time. So I knew not to jump right into camp, be very smart. And we've done really, really good. And I'm excited to push really hard on this next couple weeks. And we're more than ready.
Yeah, so how's it feel to not have to fight the Apex? Having to now you're on the UFC pay-per-view. You're the first pay-per-view of the new year, January 2024. A great clean slate for the this basically is going to start your year, right? And then you want to keep that momentum. So how's it feel to finally be in front of fans, excite the Canadian crowd? Yeah, how does it feel?
Hey man, it feels great. I actually have a package right here. Guy ordered a hoodie, paid me to sign it, and it's going to Canada, man. Like I actually have a lot of fans in Canada that have been reaching out to me. I really appreciate the support, especially since I'm fighting the hometown guy. But I'm finally out of the Apex, and that is freaking more exciting than everything. Since I was 15 years old, my dream was to walk out in front of a crowd of people. That's what I wanted to do when I made it to the UFC. I could have not told you that 15 years of having that dream, I was actually going to fight in front of nobody because we were going to have this thing called COVID. And then I fought in the Apex, which is limited to like 200, 300 people. So it's not the same feeling. This is everything I dreamed of. This is everything I worked for. And they're giving me first fight of the night, fighting the hometown guy. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to spoil it right off the bat and show them what the show's going to be like all night.
I liked it. I mean, knowing you're going against the hometown guy, but is it really do you feel the crowd's gonna be solely on the side? I mean, you got a big fan base yourself, not just in the US, but all around the world, right? I mean, you put on a ton of good fights. A lot of people know you. Do you feel like this is gonna be a hometown fight, or you feel like it could be split evenly in terms of fan favorite between the two of you?
I don't know how it's going to start, but I think I know how it's going to finish. And it's going to finish with them all being fans. And that's what I plan on improving. I want to go over there and Sean Strickland them. Sean Strickland's the main event. We watched him go over to Australia and still the fans. And I plan on doing the same thing in Canada. It is his hometown, his home country. I don't know if he's actually from Toronto, but he does train out of Toronto. I got something special for the walkout that I think Canada's going to like as well to try to get them behind my back. So just stay tuned for that. I usually come at the Scatman John, and I'm going to change it up on this one. And I got something special, and hopefully the Canada fans really understand it and like what I'm coming out to.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to that big time. Going into this fight, you are coming off two devastating losses back to back, which arguably I believe it's the first time in your career they've come up back to back losses. I was wondering, were there any struggles during this time? Having to deal with this kind of setback.
Man, if people only knew what was going on in my life, yeah, there's been a lot, man. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what's going on in my life. I got to show up and fight. Just like some days people got to show up to work and work, whether they want to or not. Just in our job, we get punched, kicked, kneed, and beat up, and people like to go on social media and say and do whatever they want. But all right, I mean, I've gone through so much. I've been going through divorce. I've been going through custody battle. I've been going through breakups. I got into another relationship. I live with grandma and grandpa right now. I don't have my own place. Like, I have nothing but motivation to get back on top to where I want to be. It's been a struggle day in and day out, but I'm not giving up. Not at all. I know I've lost my last two fights. Malcolm Gordon's lost his last two fights. We are fighting for our jobs. The UFC put this fight together. They did it for a reason. They got us the first fight of the night. They're bringing me to Toronto, Canada for a reason. It's either me or Malcolm Gordon, and I promise you I ain't going nowhere. So I'm going to finish Malcolm Gordon. I'm going to leave Canada with a new contract.
I love it. I love the confidence, man. And I believe, does that confidence come from your training? Because you've been getting in high level training throughout this entire camp. We saw you actually do some cross training lately. You were training with Jonathan Martinez for this fight. How was that training with him? And do you believe that kind of will help you level up for this opportunity against Malcolm Gordon?
Most definitely. And Martinez reached out to me, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity. Not only did I get to train with him, I'm hoping it opens more doors in the future. Maybe Martinez brings me in for his fight camp, and he needs a smaller guy that's good at jiu-jitsu to push the pace for somebody that he might be fighting in the bantamweight division. So it was great training. He had over 9 125ers for me to work with. He actually lives in Plainview, Texas. That is actually 3,000 foot in altitude. So I wasn't even ready for that, but that really helped out a lot, especially with the cardio. And coming off of leg kick loss by calf kicks, and Martinez being one of the best leg kickers in the bantamweight division, if not the best leg kicker in my eyes, it was great work. It was smart for me to go down there, and I will be down there after this fight camp. Everything keeps continuing. Hopefully, they'll bring me over there to Colorado, get some work with them as well. I'm just trying to open up more doors because this is what I do for a living. I don't work no more. I'm Jimmy the Brick, LLC. I do this full time. You see me going and doing card shows. I sign UFC cards. After this fight, I'm going to do seminars. I've been doing jiu-jitsu privates. I'm an entrepreneur, and that's what I do. Y'all see my merchandise. You can follow me on the Brick MMA on Instagram, my Facebook at Jimmy the Brick Flick, on Twitter at Jimmy Flick, and I'm even on TikTok at the Brick MMA. So if y'all want some merchandise, reach out to me. And I got new fight shirts that I made up. I got black and white. I got hats. I'm just trying to get my name out there and let everybody know who Jimmy the Brick Flick is, man. And this ain't over, man. This is just the beginning. And I'm going to kick off 2024 with a bang. And that's going to open the door to everything I want to happen in 2024.
Man, I love it. Like I said, I love the confidence. I love how you're marketing yourself. You're doing things that you've dreamed about doing, and I've known you for a while. I've watched your rise to stardom to the UFC, and it's everything's looking pretty much what you worked your hardest for, and I'm glad to see it come to fruition. And I was wondering, like, for the fans out there, what can they expect coming into this fight? What can they expect the end results in this fight with Malcolm Gordon?
At the end of the day, all I know is I'm getting my hand raised, but I don't want to do it by decision. Y'all have seen me fight Nate Smith, and all the way till the end of the bell, like I look for the submission. It's going to be no different with Malcolm Gordon. I'm looking for the finish. And I know if I want to solidify getting a new contract in the UFC, I need that finish. A lot of people don't know about me as an amateur, but when I was an amateur, I was straightforward, balls to the wall, and I knew what I needed to do. My last two couple fights, I have not been. I've been setting back. I've been kind of waiting and trying to open new things in my game. And that was the wrong thing to do. I made one mistake against Costa by not checking a kick. It cost me the fight. I made one mistake against Charles and not solidifying a position when I took his back, cost me the fight. When it comes to Malcolm Gordon, I can't make no mistakes or it's going to cost me the fight. I know Malcolm Gordon don't want to lose his job, but Malcolm Gordon is hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm fucking starving and I got to eat. And if I don't eat, my kids don't eat, and I'm not going to let my kids starve. So come January 20th, I'm going to show y'all a starving Jimmy the Brick Flick, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to finish Malcolm Gordon.
Love it. I love it, man. And looking forward to your 2024. Let's say you get through Gordon exactly how you believe it's going to happen. What can we expect from you? Do we see you come in and fight a 3 to 4 fight type of 2024, barring no setbacks and injuries? Because we do have a massive UFC 300 on tap in April. And if you have come out of there unscathed, no scars, no damage, could you see yourself being on such a monumental fight card?
At the end of the day, all I care about is getting that new UFC contract. I have a few fighters on my name or on my radar, but I have to get through Malcolm Gordon. There's a few of them that's tagged me in some posts saying they want to fight me, but right now that's irrelevant until I can go out there and take out Malcolm Gordon. Once I go out there and take out Malcolm Gordon, I want to fight at least 2 to 3 more times next year. That's the great thing about kicking off the show in January. This year we fought in January, we fought in June, and we almost snuck in right there at September. So I almost got 3 in this year. So I would really like to get 3 or 4 next year. But the main focus is taking out Malcolm Gordon first, and then we'll go from there.
I love it. I love it. All right. Before I let you go, I just want to know, do you have a message for your fans that are eagerly waiting for your return at UFC 297?
Don't blink. Don't blink, because I know the last ones they ain't been special, but this one's gonna be special. I know what I need to do, and I've been working really hard. I'm back in the Sand Springs wrestling room where this all started from the beginning when I was 3 years old. I'm trying to motivate these kids. They're chasing state championships. I'm chasing fame. So we're in there putting in hard work, and come January 20th, you're gonna see the Jimmy the Brick Flick back, man. It's going to be my old self. I'm coming straight forward. I'm going to put Malcolm Gordon on his back, and I'm going to choke him out.
I love it, man. Before you go, you can shout out any sponsors that you have. Please throw your merch in there one more time. I want everybody to be able to go there, get some Jimmy the Brick Flick merchandise. And yeah, I appreciate your time with us.
Hey, man, I appreciate you bringing me on. Yes, follow me on Instagram at The Brick MMA, on Facebook at Jimmy the Brick Flick. You have to follow my fan page, not my personal page. I'm on TikTok at The Brick MMA, and I'm on X or Twitter at Jimmy Flick. And give a shout out to all my sponsors for the support: Harvest Health Dispensary, GG2 Sports and Card Show, The Parlor Hair and Ink, Tulsa Sport Acupuncture, Vista Pools and Outdoor Living, MAJ Mafia, Inkwell Printing, Minuteman Plumbing of Tulsa, Industrial Motor Services, Palmer Law, International Crematory Services. I told them I'm going to send them a body. So January 20th, I'm sending them a body. Broadway Barbershop, HKA USA, Forza Combat Sports in Broken Arrow, and my guy, Micah Stockton. He's an insurance broker. If you need an insurance broker, you hit up my guy, Micah Stockton. I appreciate all y'all for the support. ESPN Plus, January 20th, I kick off the show. Don't blink.